Hi, beautiful one. Here is Katherine Bihlmeier. Recognizing the deception. What does that mean? Recognizing the deception. Our ego mind is full of films, which has nothing to do with truth. So, in listening to untruthness is a deception. Every film, every ego problem fixation is a deception. The problem is not here. The situation doesn't look like that. It's just everything filtered through your ego mind. So, listen, when the child learns something new, you will find that the learning does not seem to come from the child's effort. Practicing is only an expression of a child's willingness to learn. Learning itself seems to come like a miracle over the child, and suddenly the little child can do what it couldn't do before. This is also the case with us. Listen and practice as an expression of your willingness. Do not accept results from your listening and practice. Expect results from expressing your willingness. So now we're gonna have a deeper look to our deceptions, or seeing more of the deceptions. So today we have a lesson 72. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. I know that sounds tough for our ego thought system. Just listen and stay with me until the end, because there is then the praxis, and you can practice while I'm speaking to you, while you are listening. Breathe in and out and just listen. Open up to just listen. Not do anything with it, no interpretation, nothing. While we have recognized that the ego's plan for salvation is the opposite of God's, we have not yet emphasized that it is an attack, an active attack on his plan, and a deliberate attempt to destroy it. In the attack, God is assigned the attributes which are actually associated with the ego, while the ego appears to take on the attributes of God. I see it more and more with me sometimes when I'm not of letting go. My ego has it in his hand, not God. So the ego's fundamental wish is to replace God. In fact, the ego is the physical embodiment of that wish, for it is that wish that seems to surround the mind with the body, keeping it separate and alone, and unable to reach other minds except through the body that was made to imprison it. The limit on communication cannot be the best means to expand communication. Yet the ego would have you believe that it is. Although the attempt to keep the limitations that a body would impose is obvious here, it is perhaps not so apparent why holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. But let us consider the kinds of things you are apt to hold grievances for. Are they not always associated with something a body does? A person says something you do not like. He does something that displeases you. He betrays his hostile thoughts in his behavior. So you are not dealing here with what the person is. On the contrary, you are exclusively concerned with what he does in the body. Oh, that's such a good one. My mind always loves to jump on being critical and looking sometimes for falseness or knowing it better or having a belief that we are all dumb. All the bodies and ego thoughts are dumb. So, which is because it's not existing anyway. You're doing more than failing to help in freeing him from the bodies and limitations. You are actively trying to hold him to it by confusing it with him and judging them as one. Herein is God attacked, for his Son is only a body, so must he be as well. A creator wholly unlike his creation is inconceivable. If God is body, what must his plan for salvation be? What could it be but death in trying to present himself as the author of life and not of death? He is a liar and a deceiver, full of false promises and offering illusions in place of truth. The body's apparent reality makes this view of God quite convenient. In fact, if a body were real, it would be difficult indeed to escape this conclusion. And every grievance that you hold insists that the body is real. It overlooks entirely what your brother is. It reinforces your belief that he is a body and condemns him for it. And it asserts that this salvation must be death, projecting this attack onto God and holding him responsible for it. To this carefully prepared arena where any animal seek for prey and mercy cannot enter, the ego comes to save you. That's the deception. God made you a body. Very well. Let us accept this and be glad. As a body, do not let yourself be deprived of what the body offers. Take the little you can get. God gave you nothing. The body is your only savior. It is the death of God and your salvation. This is the universal belief of the world, you see. Some hate the body and try to hurt and humiliate it. Others love the body and try to glorify and exalt it. But while the body stands at the center of your concept of yourself, you are taking God's plan for salvation and holding your grievances against him and his creation, that you may not hear the voice of truth and welcome it as friend. Your chosen Savior takes his place instead. It is your friend. He is your enemy. We will today stop this senselessness attacks on salvation. We will welcome it instead. Your upside down perception has been ruinous to your peace of mind. You have seen yourself in a body and the truth outside you, locked away from your awareness by the body's limitations. Now we are going to try to see this differently. The light of truth is in us, where it was placed by God. It is the body that is outside us and is not our concern. To be without the body is to be in our natural state. To recognize the light of truth in us is to recognize ourselves as we are. To see ourselves as separate from the body is to end the attack on God's plan for salvation and to accept it instead. And wherever His plan is accepted, it is accomplished already. Our goal is the longer practice periods. Please just stay with me because here we start now with the practice. So breathe in and out. Let everything go, all the againstness of your ego mind to all that, what you're hearing. Breathe in and let go. Breathe in and let go. And let's do the practice together. Today is to become aware that God's plan for salvation has already been accomplished in us. To achieve this goal, we must replace attack with acceptance, with allowance. As long as we attack it, we cannot understand what God's plan for us is. We are therefore attacking what we do not recognizing. Now we are going to try to lay judgment aside and ask what God's plan for us is. What is salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. Then we will wait inquired for His answer. We have attacked God's plan for salvation without waiting to hear what it is. We have shouted out our grievances so loudly that we have not listened to His voice. We have used our grievances to close our eyes and stop our ears. Now we see and hear and learn. What is salvation, Father? Ask and you will be answered. Seek and you will find. We are no longer asking the ego what salvation is and where to find it. We are asking it of truth from your heart. Be certain then that the answer will be true because of whom you ask. You will see the difference, you will feel it, you will experience the difference when you ask this one and when you ask your divinity. Whenever you feel your confidence wane and your hope of success flicker and go out, repeat your question and your request, remembering that you are asking of the infinite creator of infinity, who created you like Himself. What is salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. He will answer. He determined to hear. Be determined to hear. One or perhaps two shorter practice periods on an hour will be enough for today, since they will be somewhat longer than usual. This exercise, it should begin with this. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Let me accept it instead. What is salvation, Father? Then wait a minute or so in silence, breathing in into your heart, being open to receive, not expecting anything, just being. Preferable with your eyes closed, and listen for His answer. Listen, breathing in and out, just sit. Yes, for me it's total expansiveness, letting go, It's quietness, calmness, stillness, being home again. God saying, everything is fine, all is good. Receiving all His love. So have a look what you experience, what's happening in just listening into your heart and breathing in. And yes, if you feel like you want to share your miracle experience, please share it in the comments. I love to hear, because I know it works and it changes. So bye for now. Thank you for being with me here, and lots of love.